Advice time. There we go. Ryan Townend joins us right now from William Joseph Communications. Always a pleasure seeing you. And what are the chances for the coincidence that we have where one of our lead stories is Brad Wall talking about how Saskatchewan could be facing a deficit, with our topic for the day being how to advertise and market yourself in a downturn?
Yeah, well, what's the first thing that goes when times get tough? Marketing. That's what everyone says, and you couldn't be farthest from the truth. Really, when the economy starts acting not in your favor and dollars start becoming tight, marketing is the first thing that you should really address and ramp up.
Why is that?
Well, really what you want to do is you want to make sure you secure your position in your customers' minds. So what you start finding is a lot of your competitors may choose to stop spending, and the marketplace starts becoming a little bit more empty. So this is a great opportunity for you to get your name out there and gain some market awareness.
Yeah, we've talked about brand a number of times. If your brand suddenly disappears from the billboards for a little while, does that actually make people forget?
Yeah, you know, I think people buy from people, and relationships are what are key. So you always have to have that connection of relationships, but there's a variety of different marketing methods and tools that you should always utilize to keep your names out there. And that's everything from e-commerce and advertising all the way across through, you know, traditional mechanisms like billboards.
Okay, so now we've got ourselves the marketing strategy funness up here. What can we expect?
Okay, so you know what? Strategy is always key. We talk about that every month that we're here. You have to rule by strategy. But I think when dollars are tight, you have to make sure that you optimize every penny. Now's not the time to make an error and guess what you're going to do with your marketing. You really have to figure out what's the business objective you're trying to service, what marketing strategy should we, you know, deploy, and then what tools and tactics are needed to pull that off.
And pulling ahead of your competition, as we've been talking about, you have an opportunity. The window sometimes opens when we enter a downturn.
Yeah, because a lot of companies, what they'll do is they'll hide. They'll say, we're not spending any money, we're going to save it, we're just going to save the dollars, and what happens is the marketplace becomes a little bit more open, as we just talked about. So this gives you that chance to take a dominant position in the marketplace and, you know, let your company shine.
And how do you maintain your strategic marketing plan in that essence?
Well, there's many studies that have been done about companies that maintain their marketing spend in an economic downturn, and how in the long term they actually come out ahead. So what we say is don't do a knee-jerk reaction. You know, again, just because cash flow is tight this month, maintain your marketing strategy that you had, you know, set out at the beginning of the year, and keep that running.
Okay, and you actually brought up a really interesting point. Well, first off, investing in ideas, before I even talk about that point, that's pretty valuable stuff too.
It is. Like, diversification is really key. So don't let your people sit idle. Don't let your equipment sit idle. Now's the time to think, well, is there another way that we could be utilizing our services and products to a market? So is it a different market that we should be servicing? And if you start doing that, then you have to go back to your brand and say, is our story communicating what we do to these new audiences?
And you actually just brought up a point that I wanted to get to, and the one that I was mentioning a second ago, was the whole idea of attacking a different market or a potentially new market. In certain instances, the people that you really want to connect with might not be as busy now, especially in the downturn. As a result, you can open doors that way.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, people buy from people, right? So they might be more willing to have that coffee with you, or do things like lunch and learns. They're very, very popular. We embrace them a lot at William Joseph, and it gives us a chance to talk to your audiences and educate them about what you do and why you do it.
And you do lunch and learns in Saskatoon as well.
We do. We have them on an ongoing basis. We're having one today at the Chamber of Commerce at 11:30. So if anyone's interested in attending, you can check out our William Joseph Facebook for more info.
William Joseph on Facebook, and WJ Agency is the Twitter handle?
Correct, and WilliamJoseph.com.
We got it. Thank you as always, Ryan, for coming in and dispensing such valuable information. I always learn a lot from you.
Thank you.